Hi everyone, and welcome to today's General Hospital recap. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos or recaps. Let's get right to it because something really exciting happened today. We got to see General Hospital again. The hospital's officially reopened. I'm getting ahead of myself because our first stop is the Metro Court. So Valerie runs into Curtis at the bar, and he's looking through the pictures he took of the file. She's coming from spin class, so she's all right after a workout, and I walked 10 kilometers today, and that's like roughly a little under 6 miles according to my Fitbit, because I live in America and I don't know how much a kilometer is because America. So a little under 6 miles, hatched like 18 eggs in Pokemon. Not the point. So let me continue and just say me and Valerie both fitness junkies apparently. So she asked what he was looking at on his phone so intently, and he's like, just, cheating spouse stuff, nothing crazy. And she's like, oh, okay, I understand, there's a fine line we have to walk here with our jobs being so similar yet so different. And she's glad he's not working for Julian anymore. So Curtis plays a coy, tells her she's pretty, all sweaty and everything, and he takes a picture of them together, and it's like, I'll put it on social media because she can't say Twitter, and she's like, no. And then he leaves to get her green drink, and I'm like, that just sounds gross. And he leaves his phone with her unlocked. The phone with the sensitive pictures that could potentially break them up. Yeah, that phone. So she innocently picks it up because she doesn't want him posting that picture on social media. So she goes to the picture and deletes it. And if you have a phone or any digital camera or anything, well, no, even like regular pictures, if you take the first one off the top, what do you see? Oh yeah, it's the picture under it, which happens to be a picture of the file he took. Well, no, file he took a picture of. I didn't finish my sentence. Yeah, she sees that because she has eyes. So Valerie, when he comes back, she demands answers, and I don't blame her. And she doesn't like being lied to, obviously. And, he said that when he first saw it, he didn't want to look at it, but it fell, and he just saw the pictures, and she admits that she screwed up leaving the file in proximity of him, but he took advantage of the situation, and she could lose her job, and Jordan was right about him. And I'm like, ooh, this is where there's gonna be a fight. So he says, she said that Jordan said he wasn't trustworthy and he wouldn't take responsibility for anything, which is kind of exactly what he just did, not taking responsibility. And he says Jordan's opinion is tainted. And she's like, yeah, by evidence and her experience with you. And she has some thinking to do. And by the way, they're done. And he's like, well, then what do you have to think about? And she's like, I have to think about whether I'm going to turn you in for stealing evidence. And I'm like, oh, Valerie. Oh, I like her. Oh my goodness. I didn't think I'd ever say that sentence. But Valerie's starting to grow on me, maybe because, we're both fitness buffs. I walked 10K one day, and suddenly I'm like, I was going to say Lance Armstrong, but that reference has kind of been pushed to the side a little bit. Anyway, at Mercy, we get to see 2 hospitals today. How exciting. So Jason is talking to Max on the phone and asking about Sonny, and Sam wakes up and hears him. So Sam asks how he's doing, but Jason wants her to keep her mind focused on her and her recovery, and turns out the doctor gave him the rundown while she was asleep. Turns out everything is fine. She had round ligament pain, and she just has to take it easy and not do anything strenuous. And he mentions Alexis hasn't texted or called back, and Sam thinks that's strange, so they should go visit her. At Anna's place, Emma and Charlotte are apparently hitting it off, but we don't see it. And she's going to stay at Anna's while Griffin goes to work. And Griffin is very, very, very appreciative. And, of course, asks if it's okay because he's just so good. He's too good for this world. So Dante comes in. He set up patrols outside Anna's place, police guards and all. And Griffin thanks him for everything. Anna asks Dante how he's doing after Griffin leaves. He says, not great, but, he goes back to the trial with this whole Morgan thing, and he feels like a failure professionally and personally, and she offers that if he needs anything, and then she asks him everything he knows about Valentine. And she says she's the WSB person on point for Valentine. He knew that she had gotten that job back again. Not back, but she's working for the WSB again. And she wants to know details. So, what he said during the hostage thing. And he says, there was a story about him as a kid meeting Nicholas in the villa because he'd bring fish in. But I don't know how true it is. So Valentine doesn't seem to care when he's arrested, and he either has a lot of money or knows a lot of people, or a little bit of both. And she says it's worth asking around about. I'm sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my math. I think I'm just that tired. At General Hospital! Woo! Elizabeth and Franco are coming up in the elevator together, and it feels so good to write General Hospital as a place where stuff is happening again. I'm just so happy. I mean, what would they have called the show? Formerly General Hospital? So Monica is having a little reopening ceremony. There's people there with cameras, so I assume it's the news or something. She honors Tracy as the stubborn person who saved General Hospital and doesn't acknowledge Franco. So Tracy says, there's still the battle to stay open because, once you close something and people can see you can survive with it closed, suddenly, you got options now. It's kind of like Dale from The Walking Dead when the RV was fixed, but he didn't say anything because he didn't want people to start weighing their options. Oh, Dale. No spoilers. It's season 2. You should watch The Walking Dead. Sorry, I just have Walking Dead on mind now. Zombies Run was the 10K thing. I did the virtual race again, so I walk it though. Anyway, I'm sorry. I cannot stay on topic tonight. She says, yes, the battle to stay open. There are still those who believe selling is the best option, so they all need to do their best work and show how General Hospital is a pinnacle in the community, and everyone goes off to do their respective jobs. I kind of thought Tracy was going to acknowledge Franco, because Tracy knows, because Jordan told her, but she didn't, so I don't know. I kind of feel like she should have done that, but I don't know, whatever. So Hayden, probably wouldn't have been a good idea because of Franco's past and the cameras there. Probably if there weren't cameras there and it was just the staff, but anyway. So Hayden comes up to them, Franco and Elizabeth, and she's unsympathetic to Franco's contribution. She feels that, his mother was instrumental in closing the hospital, so you don't get credit for something you fixed, although he had nothing to do with that, so I don't feel like that really applies. And she's General Hospital's new financial manager, and I'm kind of loving it a lot. So Griffin has to bring up how Finn looks better now, and Tracy comes over and says the board is aware of the situation with Dr. Finn, and we've decided it's a private matter and does not affect patient care. And Griffin's like, all right, and leaves, and Finn thanks her for that. So Tracy's optimistic for his future and finding a cure, and now that he found something to live for, more like someone. And Hayden says to Elizabeth that she knows money. She was raised as Raymond Berlin's daughter, even though she's not. And the hospital was hemorrhaging money while they were closed, and she's there to trim the fat, and hopefully there won't need to be cuts to the nursing staff. And I was like, that's pretty low, threatening her job. I know you're not a big fan of her, but come on, that's not something someone needs on their mind. So Tracy helped get Hayden the job. Finn says there's nothing between them, and she apologizes for suggesting anything different. And then he's like, why would you go to bat for her at the hospital but not ELQ? And she said she would rather have Hayden close by rather than at ELQ. So Hayden talks to Finn. She thanks him. He says she was hired for her own acumen, although Tracy did go to bat for her because of who she is and how Finn thinks of her at the very least. Also, she wants to apologize to him. She said harsh things, especially about his wife. He says it's okay because, again, he's too good for this world. And she says she was out of line. She doesn't know that kind of grief, so she shouldn't expect him to be on a timetable, especially one that benefits her. And he appreciates it, and he's here if she wants a lunch buddy or anything. And she's like, No. Griffin thanks Elizabeth for the assist last night. She knows Charlotte is staying with Robin and Emma. She's close with Robin. And he helped out when her house exploded, and he barely knew her. So, of course, she's happy to do something for him. Anything. So Griffin also apologizes for the weirdness with Franco. And she's like, no. It wasn't you. Franco gets territorial. And he's like, oh, so this is a thing. And she's like, which is pretty much my go-to as well. So Obrecht checks in with Franco. He's moping for no apparent... Okay, well, he's kind of bummed he didn't get credit. And I'm kind of a credit person, too. So, like, I'd be bummed, too. So I'm not judging him for that. But she looks awesome with bangs, by the way. Obrecht has bangs. And, like, not that I'm biased or anything. But, like, some people, bangs just, like, do everything for their face. And, you know, she's one of those people. Just bangs look great on her. Credit where credit's due. So she says that she's been humbled this last year. Well, not exactly like that, but that's the gist of it. She said it in all her Obrecht-y words. And no one apologized to her for thinking she's the killer. And I'm like, oh, well, have you apologized to Finn for that witch hunt? That obnoxious witch hunt you went on? That we were above and beyond, where you, like, called his past work? Because I think if anyone's going to apologize, it should be her to him. And but Franco's all about him, not even acknowledging any of her plight. And he says he's not only the town pariah, but the pariah of upstate New York. And she says that the biggest obstacle in his relationship is him, because he always screws things up. And I was like, oh, this is why I like you. You cut through all the American niceness and you're, like, right there. I have German background, so it's okay. So she's planting doubts that he really doesn't need added. And she says there's no becoming a better person because we're all the heroes in our own story, which it's very poetic. I kind of like that. And the person who loves you will accept your flaws, which, okay, but I was a super jealous person as a teenager. Well, like a young teenager. I was starting to acknowledge it as I got out of it and, like, undid that. But, like, I worked on it. Like, and I can look back at, like, I was just reading my old journals and I was like, girl, you needed to calm down. Like, writing in bold. Like, calm yourself. Like, physically bolding my letters with a pen. Like, because I was just so angry and jealous. So there's stuff you can work on without, like, changing yourself or making yourself for the better. Even not a better person, but for the better. And working through jealousy should be one of those things, because jealousy isn't a thing you need to feel. Like, it shouldn't be a personality trait, but that's just me. So yeah, and he says he won't be jealous anymore, which it doesn't exactly work like that. It's a process. Trust me, I went through it like a million times. So she asks if he's bothered that Elizabeth is talking to sexy Dr. Monroe, and if she had a chance, she would. And I'm like, that's a visual I didn't need on both their parts, really. So, like, he was doing better. Why did she need to do that? So he comes over. Oh, Franco goes over to Elizabeth and, like, puts his arms around her, being like, and she's allowed to talk to people and have a life, and, like, I'm not okay with that. General Hospital, you have broken me. If it's gonna be like this, I do not like the Franco-Elizabeth relationship. And I know, like, half of y'all out there are cheering, like, finally, she's seen the light. I'm seeing the light. I'm staring into it right now. My eyes hurt. Thank you. So now at Alexis's. Alexis wakes up. She tries to put the pieces of together last night. Like, she can remember it. She's just like, ugh. And her phone is dead. So someone's at the door. She thinks it's the cleaning lady. It's not. It's Valentine. Why not? And I know we're, like, supposed to not like him, but I just know this actor so well, and I can't help it. Like, I love him. Like, I'm sorry. I know that makes me a bad person, but, like, I love him. So she wants him out. And he's focused on the whole family thing. And he wants to offer her a job. So he wants to hire as a consultant to legitimize his hold on the Cassadine estate. And she's not amused by him. And he says that they're more alike than she thinks. You know, you don't get suspended by the bar for nothing, and there's, he knows multiple ethics violations, sorry. I need to learn to finish my sentences. But, like, he knows everything, and it's kind of weirding me out a little bit. You'll see as we go through it more. So basically, they're both products of their father straying from Helena, and he knows Helena killed her mother, and they deserve to inherit everything. So she says their father was an unrepentant misogynist, so we women aren't allowed to inherit anything, and she'd be more deserving than him anyway. So he points out that Mikos is dead, and he's not him, and he'd be more than happy to share with her because they've both kind of been outcast from the family, and she just needs to prove his stake is legal, and all she needs to do is make a good faith effort. Because if he doesn't, like, own it and she proves that, then he'll leave. Like, he's done. So, So Sam and Jason come back, and Jason immediately gets in Valentin's face and makes him back off from Alexis. So Valentin shows himself out, but gives Alexis his card. And before Valentin leaves, he apologizes for sending the case of wine. He didn't realize she isn't drinking anymore. And I'm like, wow. I'm impressed. Like, maybe he heard something at Windermere. Like, that's the only thing I can think of. But, like, he just went above and beyond for his sister? I don't know. I like him. I know that's bad. Maybe if he shot Tyler Christopher Nicholas, I would feel a little bit more differently. But I don't know, guys. What's happening to me? I'm liking the villains. Next thing you know, I'll be praising Ava. And the world really will have ended. Anyway. So, they all check in with each other, Jason, Sam, Alexis, they're all okay. Everyone's okay. And Jason's going to go check on Carly at the Metro Court, Sam's going to stay there, and she asks about Valentin's offer. And now end scene. So, Elizabeth gets out of Franco's grasp, and he mentions having a not daughter as well. I don't know. He just brings up all this, like, random stuff and doesn't, like, finish it out. And he apologizes for his jealousy yesterday, somewhat impressed, and wants a second chance. So Griffin's like, yeah, everyone deserves a second chance because he's a cinnamon roll too good for this world. And hey, they should all get to know each other better, Franco says, and he grabs Griffin away, and I'm like, okay, that's weird. I mean, I might too, but that's just me. Sorry. Oh, I already did that count. Oh, just in case you're new here, I just want to do this count real fast. We have a lot of supernatural people, apparently, on General Hospital right now. Dominic Zambronia, who plays Dante, played a vampire in one of the Season 1 episodes. Matt Cohen, who plays Dr. Monroe, played a young John Winchester. And Valentin Cassadine, I forget the actor's name. He played Dick Roman in Season 7. I watched that show too much. I haven't watched the new season, though. Anyway, let me finish this off. We're almost done. I can't stay. So we're up to 3. Anyway, so Monica offers Obrecht patience, and she's like, I thought you banned me to the records room. And she's like, well, if you're good, you can have patience. And Obrecht literally skips. And I was like, she's like, I've never seen her skip before. I'm glad they're humanizing her more because I'd like to like her. She replied to me on Twitter. So, I just kind of have that bias. Hayden has feelings for Finn, and they should stay professional because she can't, like, be in this limbo with him. It's not healthy for her. And they're killing me. So Tracy comes over and then calls him out on having feelings for Hayden. Right, Ekaterina? Right, hi. Hi, Ekat. Hi. Say hi. Hi, my name is Ekat. Hi, sweetheart. Mwah. Curtis calls Julian, and he says the cops are breathing down his neck like your ex-girlfriend, and he has intel on Sunny, and Jason's behind him and asks what intel he has on Sunny. He wants to know. And Alexis wants the card back from Sam. She tells her about the whole leaving deal, and what do they have to lose? Anna knocks on a hotel room door, and I think she was about to break in, but it's Valentin's room, and he comes up right behind her and says he was expecting her. So I am interested. I am definitely 1,000,000% interested in this whole Valentin Anna thing. That is it for today's General Hospital recap. It's going to be up a little earlier today because I had a day off. And I would have been up even more earlier, except I found out when I was in the middle of my walk and my walk took about a half hour more than I thought it would, because I was fighting Pokemon at the gym after every lap. So that's on me. But the important thing is that we all walked 10 kilometers today. Because if I did it, so did all of you. So you can just feel accomplished and just woo. Anyone else do like a fitness thing right now? Because anyway. Sorry, I need to stop. I just can't stay on topic. The October month in review will be up by this weekend, I promise. I've been working on it a little bit every day. I want to make sure it's as good and thorough and happy with it as possible. And I will see you tomorrow for more German Hospital. I hope you have a great night. Bye!